Merry Christmas, Rose.
Oh, Merry Christmas, Janice.
Today is the 12th of December, so it still feels like it's a little ways off, but I don't know if I'm going to see you between now and then.
No, probably not.
Yeah, uh, so how are your Christmas plans coming? You still planning on going?
Excellent. Yeah. We're going away for Christmas, so we've got a bit of a drive and visit with my son and his family in Winnipeg, and then we'll do Christmas with my family after we get back.
And are you pretty much ready?
Oh yeah. Being that we have such a large family, it's money. I give my grandkids money instead of buying them. So when you have, range from 18 years old down to 3, almost 4, I don't know what to buy anymore. So I just give them money and let them do their thing. I still have to get something for my hubby.
Oh,
I don't know what. So, yeah. How about you? What's in your plans for Christmas?
Well, I think our Christmas is going to be pretty quiet. We are planning to go this weekend to cut down a live Christmas tree.
Nice.
And so set that up. So that'll be fun. And then, yeah, just a couple of family dinners and maybe a couple of days with friends. But
Nice.
Other than that, it's going to be pretty low key.
I feel a little bit grinchy this year because we're not putting up a Christmas tree, except I don't know if you can see it. Where is it? That little guy right there. That's it. Because Rob goes back to Grand Prairie next week for the week, and when he gets home, we head to Winnipeg. So I kind of made the decision because I'll have to take it down by myself. I'll probably have to put it myself and say, not this year, not this year.
It's something that you can let go, hey?
I'm going to have to. My 2 boxes of handmade ornaments are just going to have to sit there for another year.
Yeah, that's our tree will be covered with kids stuff, I think, but I'm going to miss bringing out my ornaments. Maybe I'll have to just do that and just visit with them and fondle them and then.
Well, maybe. I've seen some really neat ideas of small trees that people have done. Anything from feather trees to metal trees to wooden spindle trees.
Yeah, I saw something about that on the socials this week too. That looked like a cool idea.
Yeah, so
maybe I'll have to get creative.
Yeah, I've thought of that, and not this year, but for future maybe.
Yeah. Well, with a quiet Christmas, I'm looking forward to spending a couple of days in my pajamas with my stitching. Catch up on some FlossTube, maybe book on tape. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a wonderful idea.
I think so.
Yeah.
So speaking of the holidays, the shop is going to be closed on December 25th and 26th and January 1st. We're working the rest of our usual schedule except for we're closing at 3 on December 24th and January 31st. And but otherwise, we're taking orders straight up to 3 o'clock on the 24th. Good. We've definitely had husbands walk in at the end of that day looking for Christmas gifts or gift certificates or.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. So we are offering gift certificates in any amount, and they're super easy in email format. So we can send them to either the giver or the recipient directly. And then they're set up for their New Year purchasing and gift giving. We can do that right until the morning of the 24th of December, but maybe don't wait that long.
Yeah, good idea.
And then we're also doing in-store shopping, of course, and pickup of orders until the 24th. And from a shipping Christmas deadline perspective, we're pretty much there. If somebody needs a last minute gift, they can call or order online and they have to specifically let us know that it's for Christmas. And so then we'll put our heads on it and just see if it's actually doable or not doable. But we do need to know to make sure that that's going to happen. And then we need to talk about the Canada Post strike.
Yeah. Thorn on many sides.
Yeah, it's been going on for almost a month now. And I'm pretty sure I don't have to tell you what I think of it as a small business owner who does a lot of mail order. So the good news is that we found a solution, and it is turning out to be such a good solution that we might not go back. So in most cases, postage is less expensive, packages are getting delivered more quickly, and the user interface that we use for shipping, creating labels is a lot more user-friendly. So my staff are enjoying working with that a whole lot more than the Canada Post format. The only problem is that they don't ship to quite remote locations or PO boxes, and they don't have a rate for really small packages, like what we would normally charge $3 or $4 for shipping on. They don't have an equivalent of that. So what we're doing is when an order comes in and it's that size, then we're holding on to them. So we're encouraging people to still keep placing your orders so that you're getting your items, and so that as soon as the strike lifts, we can get those little orders in the mail. But in the meantime, we're shipping all of our regular orders as normal. So please keep those orders coming. It's a really important time to be supporting small Canadian businesses that are investing a lot of extra time and resources and finances into new systems to try to cope with the current situation. So we're very happy to take your orders. And I was really worried when the strike hit that we would get a ton of cancellations of orders and anxious customers. But I've been like almost comforted by how understanding and patient people have been through all of this. So knowing that it's totally out of our control and we're doing what we can. So I really appreciate that in our customers these days, for sure.
Good to hear.
Yeah. So unfortunately, about 9 of our incoming shipments are caught up in the strike. So vendor orders. And so stuff that was mailed before the strike hit and went into the system, and then once it's in the system, we can't get it. So we also appreciate people's patience while we're waiting for those to be released from the Canada Post strike. And my crystal ball doesn't tell me when the strike is going to be over. It's not going to be this week. It might not be next week.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Yeah.
I haven't looked the last couple of days as to what's happening. Nothing was moving. Basically, there was, mediator hadn't come back. There was an offer, but they were thinking about it. I don't know. It's to the point where I throw my hands up and go, it'll happen when it'll happen. Yes, I think they're still substantially far apart on a lot of key topics. So I don't see it ending anytime soon. Yeah. So then the other thing is, if you want an order and you want to make it a little bit bigger to help spread out the postage cost, then just let us know and we'll be happy to help you with that. Alrighty, so on to less stressful topics. Yeah, I agree. In this FlossTube video, which is actually number 54, we're going to be talking about our Jonson stitch along, stuff that's going on in the shop. And I have a very special hand-dyed linen parade limited edition of Mason linens. And then we're going to talk about plans. So let's get started. Okay. Rose, how did Jonson go this month? Oh, good. It actually went super quick. So we had completed month 10 on Jonson. And I'll just show you our handy dandy little thing. So it was this one. Just remember, this was cut across. So I've done all of this, and I probably extended the border. So actually, I'll show this afterwards for month 11. Let's keep it in order. Okay, so we've got month 11. And I mean, if it looks familiar, it's because month 8 was the same thing. So unfortunately, you can't see that basket that well. Oh. It doesn't show. It really blends in. So, but it is there. I had to look, but Yeah, it's there. Trust me.
Yeah. I'm sure it shows up really good in person. It's just maybe the camera's not.
It does. Yeah, it's very textural. So it's kind of got the pink on the inside and the yellow on the outside. But for some reason, it's just not picking up. So we will continue on to this, which I'm excited about, and that is that flower basket.
Yeah.
Okay. So that'll be month 11, and I know I will tackle that. And just depending how fast I do that, and this is true confessions, I might just extend some more of my border or do a little more in here. Just because month 12, there's quite a bit.
Right.
So I'm going to kind of play that by ear and go. But this has been fun so far.
Okay.
And quick stitching. I think I had the month 10 done in 3 days. So, and that's just evening stitching. I only stitch on this, 3 or 4 hours in the evening. So yeah, it's been great. How about you?
I'm looking at the actual graph of that basket that is for the current month, the one that we're going to start working on.
Yeah.
And it looks like a daunting hunk of stitching, but it's actually good blocks of color. It's not that it's confetti for those roses or anything like that. It's good blocks of color. So I think it's going to actually be really fun to stitch too and go fairly quickly for how densely it is.
Yeah. I think confetti stitching is a 21st century thing, because the girls of back in those times didn't really do confetti that much. They did some, but not, to what people are talking about, one color here, one color there.
Yeah.
So this should be, and I've done stuff like this, and it's very doable, very doable. And Nicola's charts are just excellent to stitch from. So
right. And this one, okay, so that motif, that big flower basket that we're talking about, does land on like 4 pages of the paper graph. So this is a really good place to be using the PDF that we emailed to you, blowing that up on your device and stitching from it instead of having to worry about the pages of overlap. Well, I did make some progress this month.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So not quite caught up yet, but definitely.
You're really close.
Yeah. So this will be my pajama and Christmas time stitching, I think, and see how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, February 14th is a suggested date. That doesn't mean it's written in stone.
No. No.
I think there's the people on Ann Jonson that are apologetic when they're not caught up or whatever, and it kind of makes me giggle, because I thought, who is the stitching police that says that you have to be, following exactly?
Yeah.
I think it only applies to me.
Right. Because that's your job.
That's my job. Yeah. And it's a hard one, but I think I can do it.
Okay.
It's fun.
Sounds good.
Fun.
Alrighty. So in the shop, we finished our year-end inventory in record time this year.
Good.
I think it was just over 2 days it took us to count everything. So the whole team was in the shop, and everybody was just counting on all their fingers and toes, and we bring in lunch, and some of us kind of team off together, and so it was a good couple of days, and it's all done.
Good.
I did find a few treasures while we were doing inventory, and as I get time, I'm going to list them on the website. An example is I found some homespun elegance old brass buttons that have been unavailable for quite a while. So they're listed under the new products section of the website.
Okay.
Unless you go and buy them all, then nobody will be able to find the link. But yeah, so it's always interesting to see what has kind of fallen off the radar since we did things last year. And then I'll be listing a few more of those treasures as time allows. And then we've updated the inventory in our SAL section to show exactly what we've got on hand. And so be sure to check that out, and the link for that will be below. We've had lots of really amazing releases in the last month because of the Christmas wintry season. So there's lots of good things to look at in that section as well. And I'm kicking myself that I didn't bring one, but the 2025 Book of Days has arrived, and actually our restock shipment has arrived. Oh, you have yours.
Shall receive. There she is.
Excellent.
So
yeah, you came in last week to pick yours up.
I did.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
And have you started writing in it at all?
No, I'm still working on my December of 2024.
Oh, can you flip open a page, a calendar page in your book?
I
Show
will.
everybody.
We'll start with January.
Oh, awesome. So lots of room for notes and stickers, and a great way to start off your year keeping track of your stitching. And
I have a couple books of stickers that I bought off of Amazon. It's a great resource for anybody that wants. But yeah, I sticker it up. I write it in different colors, and you can tell the months that I've kind of fallen off. So then I'll put more stickers in and there's less words, but it's kind of fun. It's, yeah, kind of childlike, you know, it brings out that child in you to do stickers and writing, but there's nothing wrong with journaling. It's kind of fun to look back.
Yeah, it's great to have a record
And
to be able to.
I'll mention too, on the back, there's always graphing paper. And I use this a lot for graphing out my signature. And then it'll be a resource year after year. I can go search for, you know,
you know exactly
signature.
where it is.
Yeah, well, sometimes not. I have to go through a few because I have a few years. Yeah, the other pages, there's friends, retreats, projects, advanced planning. I start those and I don't end up finishing. So I'm probably one of them that I may be a little bit more slack. There are others that are just really good at journaling, but it's fun. It's fun to do.
Cool. Well, we've got really good stock of them in the shop right now. And so your orders are welcome.
Yeah. I just want to mention one thing. If you're kind of sitting on the edge of getting this, and I won't show it, but on the back, actually, I can maybe cover it. You can see there's a little photo of a stitched piece, and the chart is right here, and it's a little urn. And it would be just a really cute little project to stitch for yourself or for a friend. So,
lovely.
So yeah.
Great. So the other thing that happened this week, and I'm pretty sure it's never happened on the 6th of December before, is that we got to see the first of the Nashville Needlework Market releases.
Really?
Yep.
That's 3 months ahead.
Yeah, so Yarn Tree, who is needlework retailer, who is the organizer of the market, put out their, I think it's 6 exclusive charts that they will have that will be Nashville exclusives and not available to other shops for a period of time after market. And so we've listed those for advance orders on our website. And the thing of it is that their advance order deadline for shops is the 6th of January.
Oh.
So we do need to know soonish what our order is going to be.
Wow.
Yeah. And so their plates are full because they are the organizers and they've got lots to tackle and take care of. But yeah. So we'll see what that spurs the rest of the designers for Nashville to do, or if we will still wait until like the 1st of February. We usually start seeing the big releases. But so there's a link. We've created a section for the Nashville Needlework Market 2025 on our website, and there's a link below. And that's going to be held the first weekend of March. Yeah, I think I fly home on the 10th of March, and then we'll have everything for that week after.
Wow.
Yeah, it's hard to believe.
Yeah, that just kind of blows my mind.
Yeah, so we're going to focus this year's Nashville market a lot on advance orders because we found last year that I went to the market and I expected to be able to buy things and they were sold out, and then it took quite a while to get them into the shop. So we're going to really focus on that this year. So advanced orders are welcome and recommended, particularly the European designers or anything that's a limited edition or a market exclusive. And I just want to remind everybody that when you place an order through our website, it does collect your payment information. It'll take your credit card number or your PayPal email address, but we don't charge until we're actually ready to ship the product. So even if you order today, you're not going to pay until your order is ready to go out after the 10th of March. So just so you know. So stay tuned for more Nashville news. So next part is our hand-dyed linen parade. So before I show you these limited edition Mason linens, I want to tell you, as soon as we're done recording the video today, I'm running to the shop because we're getting a big order of needle and flax linen. A lot of it is pre-spoken for, but there is going to be some extras, but I need to receive it, cut it, get it out. So if you've been waiting for needle and flax, it's here. We're almost here. Then the other thing is that we've heard from Miss Crescent Crown Linen that they're taking a hiatus of kind of undetermined length from dyeing linen. So we've updated our website to show what we've got in stock, and we pretty much have some of everything in stock. But just so you know that if you were planning on stitching a project on it, now is a really good time to get it, because I'm not sure when it will be available again.
Okay.
And then, so speaking of Mason linen, I wrote a newsletter last week that said that we were getting a shipment of Mason, and we'd updated the website to say what was coming in that shipment. Well, guess where our shipment is? In the hands of Canada Post.
Rats.
Yeah. So the website still shows what we're expecting to get, and we will be filling those orders as soon as our package is liberated from the strike.
Good choice of words, liberated.
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, so you can still order those fabrics and just know that we will fill them when we can fill them. So on to these limited edition colors. So I had great intentions of taking pictures and posting them on the website today of the linens, but it is 9:41 in the morning while we're recording, and the sun is just deciding to come out right now, so I couldn't get good pictures. So what I did was I listed what we've got on our website in the hand-dyed linen parade section, which you'll find a link to below, and I matched them as close as I could to DMC floss colors and listed them that way. So it's listed as the count, the approximate DMC equivalent, the cut size that's available, and how many we have. So, and the DMC colors, they're equivalents, like nothing is an exact match. So it's what my eye saw, and will give you a rough idea, approximation of what to expect. And Mason linens are so beautiful and amazing that it's always worth it to take a bit of a gamble just to get some.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and show them to you here. The shades are quite similar in some cases, so I'm going to use my handy dandy little whiteboard to see if I can give you a little bit of contrast and juggle them that way, and then see. So my suggestion is to grab a pen and a piece of paper. I've got these lettered A, B, C, D, E. So write down the count that you want and the letter, and then go look on the website. And if you need to play back this section of the video to make sure you didn't miss anything, then just totally do that. And so we'll keep counting them down and updating the website as they sell out, just so that you know what we've got. So I have 2 colors of 36, a handful of colors of 40, and 1 color of 46.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with the 36. So this is color G. And we have this in wide quarter cuts only, 18 by 27. Okay. And this 36 count is color H. So you can see one is more to the golden end of things, and this one is a little bit more browny, darker. So those are the 2 36 choices. So the gold one is G and the browner one is H. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to do the 40s. So this is A. I'm just going to try and hold a couple up to give you contrast. And the 40s are all essentially wide halves. I don't think we have any wide quarters. And because these are limited edition, so the price point on the limited edition is less than the regular line of linen. And so we're not going to cut these down. So the 40s are wide halves. So this, again, sorry, is A.
Mhm.
B. So see that they're different, but they're similar, really,
Yeah.
really close.
Yeah.
And this is C.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, are those all wide halves?
The 40 count. And then this is D. This is E, which is not a gorgeous color.
It is.
Like we were talking earlier when we were talking about Anne Jonson about those lighter colors not necessarily popping, but something like this would just, yum.
I know a lot of people steer away from the darker colors, but sometimes you need to rethink it when you have a piece that is quite light.
Yeah, they make thread colors do amazing things, I think.
They do, yeah.
So again, this dark one is E. And then this is F. So kind of a similar color family, but just lighter.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so that's F, and that's the last of the 40 count.
Okay.
And then this is fabric I. Don't ask me who put these in letter order. Okay, it was me. But this is I, and it is the 46 count. The only color that we got in 46 count. So, yeah.
Really nice.
I think they're amazing. And just, they feel so good.
Yeah.
And she does such a great job of, let's see, like the linen is square, and we can't say that very much about a lot of the hand-dyed linens that we get. And these pieces are all beautifully serged on the edges. Like, look at that corner. So yeah, it's just beautiful.
Funny, the little details, hey, just make a difference.
Yeah, Patty takes such great care, and everything is beautifully tagged with her tags. And so we are just thrilled to be one of the shops that offers her linen, and can't wait for that other shipment that is being held hostage to arrive too. Anyways, so that's the hand-dyed linen parade.
They look good.
Yeah. So then what have you got lined up for stitching plans for us?
Well, excuse me. I was just telling you earlier, I had one piece that I worked on in the morning, which I now have finished. I can show it to you. I'm just working on finishing up my frame. So I just have to put a finishing coat on. But some of you may recognize this. This is called Vintage Animals from Jeanette Douglas. So it's just a really cute organic piece. And it's stitched on 36 count Legacy from Picture This Plus. So it's just a nice, subtly modeled. It was a lot of fun, but I don't know, something that seems so easy are the ones that I make mistakes. So, I mean, I've got 2 foxes that are not in the right places. Like, go figure, I guess I can't stitch foxes. And there's probably 1 or 2 others. I don't know. You'll never notice them.
That's pretty cute.
So working on that, or finish that, I should say, I have to pick something else for my morning stitch because I'm trying to knock down whips. I don't have a huge amount of whips. I have 14 whips. So that's not a huge amount, but I want to see progress. I want to see completion. So we'll see. Do you want to see this other one I'm working on?
Yeah, we do.
It's huge. So some of you know that my heritage, my parents immigrated from Holland back in the 50s or 1950. And years ago, my mom stitched a map of Holland, which my sister has. Oh, I'm just got something stuck here. And lo and behold, about 2 years ago, I happened to find at the thrift store, of all things, a kit minus the linen in it. So long story short, my sister, who has now finished hers, and I are stitching this. So it's, I would say it's not intuitive. It's almost like watercolor meets line drawing, but it's hard to describe, but it's fantastic. So I will show you, I'm not going to scroll it, but it's, and I know what you're not going to be able to read, but it's different provinces throughout, and it does go up and around here. So I'm probably halfway through.
Wow.
And it is, the reason I don't want to stop until it's done is because it's a different way of stitching samplers or smalls. And you get, if you put it away like I did for most of the year, getting back into it is tough. It's just a different way. You're using one thread or two threads, huge amount of back stitching, but the effect is phenomenal.
Right. You want to stay in your groove.
That focus. So hoping for a finish in the spring.
Well, you've made lots of progress on it since the last time.
I have. So, well, it's not like one of those, sampler type of things. It's very personal.
Well, keep us posted on how that's going.
Yeah. So that's it. What about you?
Well, I did take kind of a break from Jonson to work on the new Brenda Gervais Peace and Goodwill chart. So this is what the chart looks like. So I made some pretty good progress, but I've been watching while I've been catching up on Yellowstone. So I've jumped around a little bit to the things that I can focus on, both ends of things while I'm stitching. So this is what it looks like.
So you don't have much left.
No, I don't have much left except for that. I don't know if you can see this. I'm frogging the entire house.
Oh, what?
Because there are these little Christmas trees in the bottom that weren't contrasting enough with the house. They just got lost. And actually up in this section, which I've also started to unpick, there's actually a wreath there that you can't see because the threads are too same.
So you wouldn't want to frog the trees and change the tree color?
Well, I thought about that, but there wasn't already a green in the design that would have stood out. Like the one that's getting used is the most contrasty, I think. So then it would have been introducing a new green into the design. And so that was actually what my plan was originally, until somebody who, and I'm sorry, I don't know who, on Instagram posted that they changed the color of the house. So they changed it to the pink that is this color. It's Gentle Arts 7018. And it actually really, really balanced out the design really nicely, and it looked really good. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I did think about switching it out to a more yellow house to match the color of the house that the shop is in, the farmhouse. But again, it wasn't in the color palette, and I saw that pink idea before I had time to play with the thread.
I agree with you. Dye lots can be tricky, as I found with vintage animals, and just because the designer has picked a color doesn't mean that your dye lot is going to be the same. So don't be afraid to change colors if your dye lot just doesn't. Or in some cases, maybe your DMC is a better choice than the hand dyed. So,
well, and you see things differently when your stitching's right in front of you than you do on the cover of a chart or something. So yeah, and especially like the vintage animals chart is a few years old. So when you are starting to work on charts that are a little bit older, then you can almost count on changes in the dye lot in that time.
That's right, yeah. And don't feel that hand-dyed flosses are the only ones that are affected by color changes. You've had it before with silk floss. And I've had it with, I think I've seen it more in DMC, but environmental changes in their, solutions. And other things.
All right, so what are your thoughts on a New Year's Day project and a blessing sampler?
I've been doing a blessing sampler for the last 3 or 4 years, and I might choose one. I have a couple. I didn't pull them because I never thought of it. A couple small hats samplers that I made,
Mhm.
and a New
So
Year's start.
tell me before we go to New Year's, just your understanding of the idea of a blessing sampler.
The idea is to pick a blessing sampler that is small enough to finish in the month of January. And the idea is to give you blessings throughout the year in your stitching and life.
Mhm.
I think it's a European concept.
Hmm.
And
Just to get the year off on the right foot.
exactly. And yeah, so like I said, I have 2 small ones from hats, and I probably wouldn't show them anyway because one is from one of the red boxes, which isn't available to anybody,
Mhm.
and the other one is in the hats calendar, which if you didn't buy that, I don't think it's available.
Gotcha.
So and then I look at somebody else's and I go, oh, that's a good idea. Maybe I should. So I haven't pinned it down yet.
Hmm. And then
And
what about New Year's Day?
New Year's, oh, there is a stitch along that is starting by Krista Gramer on January 1st, and it's Tom's Foolery
Mm.
by Hands Across the Sea Sampler. And I've always liked that piece. So I did buy it here a couple months ago, and it's only available as a PDF. And I'm probably just going to use DMC, either that or I've got a huge stash of floss, silk floss, and I may just do some conversions. We'll see. And I happen to have a piece of 38 count gray heron linen by Legacy
Mm.
Linens that I think would be effective. I think the call for linen that she used is you don't carry it. So I think that's going to be my alternative. So it would work really well with soie d'Alger because it's a little plumper.
Yeah, 38 would be perfect for swatch.
So, and there's so many colors going on in that if it doesn't quite color match, I don't think I'd be upset. So now that I'm talking about it, I'm kind of going, might end up starting it. So yeah.
All right, well, I'll insert a picture of the tomfoolery sampler here so that
Yeah.
people know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, you can also order the PDF through our website and then also all of the supplies too. So I'll link to that as well.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
well,
it's a fun piece. I think it's going to be a fun piece. So yeah.
okay, so our next check-in will be January 14th, which looks like it's probably like a Tuesday.
Yes.
And just right before I go to Sampler Symposium at the attic.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I know. Sorry, not sorry. It's okay.
Yeah.
I live vicariously through everyone that goes.
So then we'll look forward to hearing about your New Year's Day start and if you decided to do a blessing sampler.
Yeah.
I haven't really given any thought about either until I started making notes for the video, and I thought, I'm running behind in that department. If I want to get, I usually like to do a really good size start for my New Year's Day project.
You do.
A substantial sampler, long-term kind of a one. So I better start thinking about that and gathering my supplies.
Yeah. Yeah, I know one in particular you started a few years ago, and I know it was a large size. I'm trying to remember other ones that you've started. That one I'm thinking of just comes to mind.
Okay.
So yeah.
I deserve a fresh start on January
That
1st,
is
New
a good
Year's
point.
Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody does.
Yeah, I figure being that I got one of my whips done, maybe I could.
Yeah,
I don't know if I can get another whip done before then, though. I'll have to look at my progress and all my other whips to decide if I can get something done by January or
Just
December
pick the one that's closest to being done and then you can knock it off.
Yeah, that is a thought.
Okay, well, you'll have to report back on that too.
Yeah, probably won't happen.
All right. Well, Rose, I would like to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas and all the best for the start of 2025. And also to all of our viewers and our customers, however you celebrate Christmas or the holiday season, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
And Merry Christmas to you and yours, Janice.
Thank you.
And to everyone out there that's watching, very Merry Christmas.
Okay, we'll talk to you soon, Rose.
Sounds good.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.